Welcome to A Coffee With. First of all, what's your order?
Well, because it's, what time is it? 10 past 2. Well, 12 minutes past 2. Just gone for a latte, not the strongest one. Like this morning I had an oat milk flat white. Oat milk, because I'm not great with dairy. Bit of a tolerance. So oat milk, latte.
So that'd be good for you then, this kind of growth of alternative milks that's really kind of took off over the last few years.
Well, yeah, exactly. Yeah, it's been good for me because when I was younger, I used to, like I always had soy milk. And it was quite hard to get hold of. But now it's, like I say, all the coffee shops. Happy days.
Coffee, big part of your day then? You just kick off with a coffee?
It is when I'm up early, when I'm travelling from home. Got to. Almost wakes me up. And then, like on a normal day, try not to have too many. Probably have 2 max. But I do like a good coffee.
Talking about travelling in, you're travelling with Jack Senior?
Yeah.
On most occasions? How's that dynamic?
I've, what's the word I'm looking for? Like, got him in. What's the word I'm looking for? Recruited.
Recruited, oh, yeah.
There we go,
yes.
Got there in the end. Yeah, recruited Jack this year and top lad. First and foremost, good person, great person to be around, full of energy, and a very good player.
Do you need that in a carpool buddy, somebody who is full of energy?
Yes, yeah, you do. Obviously, over the years, and the last couple of years, I had Tails, who was a bundle of energy. And like I say, I basically got that in Jack as well. And like I say, sometimes with the drives, if you get stuck in traffic, you know, you need that energy and that positivity, and that's what Jack brings.
Who's got control at radio?
Well, we like to say whoever's driving, really. Yeah. Whoever's driving, you know, you got to show the driver a bit of respect. Yeah. But he's got some good tunes. He's all right, different. We both have quite a wide variety of a genre, I would say. Yeah. But no, it's good.
Anything? What would you pick typically? You know, if
what music?
If your choice, music, whatever. I'll listen to
So, you know, like I said this morning, if we're travelling early, it's quite a soothing, nothing too heavy early in the morning. You know, a bit of pop, maybe something soft, a bit like Taylor Swift.
Taylor Swift.
Yeah, a little Taylor Swift in the morning, just nice and nothing too heavy. And then this afternoon, you know, maybe a little bit of indie, a little bit of R&B, a little bit of rap. Like I say, a little bit of everything. But always good sing-along songs.
You've had a fair few people in Carway in your time here.
Yeah.
Dare I ask who's been the best and the worst carpool buddy?
Oh. Like I say, I had a lot of good ones.
Yeah.
Like Jack now, Tails, like the full car school, a good one was when it was me, Tails, Dan Gardner and Sean Williams. Another one with Ben Whiteman, Reece James and Tails. So I had some very good ones.
Big mix of personalities.
Yeah, that's what I mean. And then no one really been bad, but someone that caused me maybe a little bit of stress, I would say, was George Miller. Yeah. Still obviously a good lad when he wants to be. But like I say, can be a little wind-up merchant when he wants to be as well. But like I say, always had a good time. Yeah. Yeah, it can bring you close together where, you know, sometimes if you don't travel, you might think, you might not just spend that much time with other people in different positions or whatever, maybe into different stuff. But when obviously you're in the car for an hour, 2 hours a day, you get to know each other and you get close and you bond good relationships. I imagine
Roshan probably weren't somebody that you'd necessarily be, you know, but that when you're talking about getting to know somebody.
Yeah. He, like I say, a good friend of mine, Roshan, got on really well. Yeah. Bit of you know, you got to, how would I say it? Peel the layers, if you will. He's quite a bit of a closed book when you first get to know him. Yeah. But again, another top lad that I had a great time with in the school, and like I say, I still speak to every now and again. And we'll catch up with him.
I imagine George Miller wasn't the best to be stuck in traffic with.
He just wouldn't shut up. Yeah. Sometimes when you just need a little 5-10 minutes just to. In fact, sometimes we used to say, right, 5-minute break. Just be quiet for 5 minutes.
I bet he'd struggle with that as well.
Yeah, he did. Yeah, big time. But no, like I say, all good lads, all good to be around, and it's good fun.
Yeah. We've got you here after training. What would a typical afternoon look like for you when you've got home, basically?
So today we're actually going, after this, me and Jack are going to go to cryotherapy, which is where you're in the chamber for 3 minutes. It's freezing, but very beneficial. A lot of benefits to it. And then at the minute, have you seen Ted Lasso?
Yeah.
We're absolutely smashing through Ted Lasso. Love it. And then a bit of tea. We take some food home from training that the girls cook, Sam and Vic. And then again, tell you what, Burnley on tonight though, Burnley Leeds, big game. Big game for the Clarets. And a big game at the top of the Championship. So we'll probably watch that. So yeah, a bit of Ted Lasso, a bit of food. Maybe a bit more Ted Lasso than watch the Clarets.
Yeah. It's a stop overnight tonight then.
Yeah, stop overnight tonight, yeah.
What would it look like if you were heading back after training, but heading back home?
Heading back home, probably have to go and do the shopping.
Yeah.
Because my wife's a primary school teacher, so that's a very, very difficult job, very time consuming, a lot of work. So I'd go do the shop, get what we're having for tea, cook it, and then I have it ready when she walks through the door.
Oh, top man, top man. Any good at cooking?
All right, I'd say like basic.
Yeah.
It's not something that I love doing. But obviously, it's part of the job. You got to eat right and look after yourself and make sure you're doing it properly. So I would say that's what I do.
If you knew your wife had a tough day at work and you wanted to do something nice for when she come in, what would you be rustling up?
We have. Have you ever heard of Pinch and All?
No.
A little. That's like a website or a little cookbook. Like healthier recipes.
Yes, it does. Yeah.
And there's a Chinese chicken curry in there that you can bag in a slow cooker, which is a personal favourite. Yeah. Just bag it in and leave it to it.
Yeah.
But that's probably his favourite. Yeah. So maybe that one, yeah.
If you've got a day off, how would you spend it? Obviously, you're saying your wife's a primary school teacher. I suppose a lot of your days off during the week are with yourself. Yeah, they are. And again, maybe catching up on a bit of washing, go to the gym. Maybe pop home and see my parents. But yeah, you know what life's like. Everybody knows things. There's always stuff to do at home. Always jobs need doing. And yeah, just catching up really in the week, trying to make sure, like I say, I don't get too behind on the washing. Any jobs need doing, fixing tap under the sink or something like that. Not that I'm great at that really. But yeah, just trying to make sure everything's neat and tidy because I'm a bit OCD, a bit of a neat freak. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, don't like any mess.
What's that like when you're in car then? Because I imagine that some...
well, my car's spotless.
That's your car, yeah.
Well, it's a bit dirty at the minute actually, obviously up and down motorway when weather's like this. Yeah. But inside I don't like any bottles or wrappers and that. Where is Jack? Well, he's a good driver, I'll give him that, but his car's a bit messy sometimes.
What would you like to have? What would you do if you had more time to do it? You're talking about getting a lot of jobs done at home, but if you had more time with your week or more days to play with, there's certain interests you've got that you'd kind of...
Yeah, good question actually. I've never really thought about that too much. Obviously, I'm getting to an age now where, hopefully I've got another 4 or 5 years left in me, and I have to start thinking about what I'd do after that. Maybe flirting with the idea of a bit of coaching. Maybe get into that. And outside of it, like I say, I don't really know. I did a course over the last year with the PFA, which was very interesting. That was a football psychology, emotional intelligence and leadership course, which I didn't think it would, but taught me a lot about myself and made you a bit more aware of other aspects that go on in the game. And like I say, maybe, if you do go down that coaching role, being a leader as in the coach and just looking out for other things in younger players especially that you might not have been aware of before. So, yeah, maybe coaching. I always, like I said, my wife is a teacher. With the workload that they have to do, I don't know, that scares me off a little bit, and the days that they have. And like I say, it's tough.
You've been in and helped her out a few times then, yeah?
Yes, on a few school trips, I enjoyed myself. Yeah. It was hard work though. One coming back on the bus on the school trip once, and I was conked out next to the kids. She was having to give me a little clip right here. But no, it's good. It's a nice environment to be around, and obviously they're helping the kids to become the best best version of themselves, and it's quite rewarding when you're teaching them, and you can see it, the process of it, and they learn. And it's I suppose it is a bit like coaching, really. You try and show them how to do things, and you see them trying, and when they get it, it's a nice moment.
And it's amazing the job that they do, as you said.
Oh.
There are a lot of kids to deal with at such a young age as well in prime.
Yeah, and it was funny, like, if she ever, I seen her shout at a kid, and I had to try not to laugh because I've not really seen her. But that's, the school, and you have to teach the kids discipline and teach them how to become good young adults.
Yeah. You touched on that course that you did and kind of what you learned about yourself. You've been really open about sort of stuff with mental health, particularly when you had those injuries that kept you out for so long. You're pleased with the way that it's kind of gone in the game, where that stuff is becoming more to the forefront, and thoughts about that, and looking after players.
Yeah, 100%. And I touched on it a bit there with especially with the younger age group, because you're coming into. I know the world is ruthless, but the football industry is a very ruthless industry, and I think I don't know exact figures, but I think the ages from like 16 to 21 there's a big fallout of young pros, and I think just the pressure and the commitment and like what young lads need to do. Sometimes I don't think they realise, and when they're in it, and like you say, moving from home, away from parents. Like, I'm 31 now, and I look at some of the young lads and living away from home, and that's a young age to move away from home, and the struggles, like I say, the pressure's a big one. Could be from yourself, could be from staff, could be from fans. It can be from anything, and it's for a young head, that's a lot to deal with. And I think maybe sometimes just talking about it and helping the young lads out and letting them know that having all these feelings, the nervous energy, the anxiety, is normal. That's part of it. The fear, I think fear is a big one, and learning that, like I say, that is normal, and to combat that comes courage, and to learn all that and to develop the positive mindset. Like, I think the mind is the most important thing, to understand how you work and understand that you can control your mind. You can't control other things that are going on, but you can control what you do and how hard you work and how hard you think. Not hard you think, what you think, sorry. And I think just some young teenagers or people coming through the game, boys, girls, just making them a bit more aware of that would go a long way.
There's a lot more for them to deal with nowadays as well. The way social media's grown in particular. Of course. So during your career, it's become a big thing. Yeah, that started when I was 18 and 19, going out on loan, and this is what I mean. Like, when you're in youth team football, you're only playing in front of 100 people, and half of them are your parents, and no one's really booing you or giving you any stick. And as soon as you go out on loan, where you're playing in front of fans and they're calling you all sorts, and you're getting a bit of stick, it is that is hard to deal with because you're not used to it. And learning how to adapt to that and deal with it, and like I say, having a positive mindset throughout is something that can be very crucial to then you making the next step, or you're going out of the game and going into something else, which is fine. Football's not for everybody, but I do think with a bit more help in that sort of industry, there'll be a lot more young players coming through. You talked a lot about how much you've kind of learned in these recent years. Do you wish you kind of had it earlier on in your career in terms of that mindset thing? Oh, 100%. And I think that's where you see the top players like Jude Bellingham now at such a young age with what he deals with, and I don't know, it comes naturally to some, and some work on it, and I think that's the difference between being a good player and a top player. And obviously there's some that, ability-wise might not be as good as them, but they make it and have a good career through the mindset and through how they deal with setbacks. That's a big one. And like I say, there's more and more coming in the game, and I think it's going in the right direction for that sort of stuff. Are you in a good place at the minute yourself, do you feel, in terms of that side of things? I think so, yeah. Obviously, injury-wise, a lot better. That was, like, looking back, I really struggled with the injuries because I'd never really been injured before. I just had my concussions and my nose breaks, which was just a week or 2 weeks here and there, but then having my foot, which I was out
with for 6 months, and then my back injury was play. I actually look back, and I think that season I would play 4 games, be injured for 4 games, and you're up, you're starting, you're back, you're in pain, and I really struggled through that part of my career. And now, obviously, I'm fit, and that's a plus. Obviously, not playing as much as what I would like to in a minute, which again can be difficult. But you know, the lads are doing well. Joe and Jamie McGrath have been on very good form, and that's just where, as a professional, you need to make sure you're ready when called upon.
But you have to be ready, don't you? As you said, you look back probably 12 months.
Yeah.
I'm sure there were partly some thought in your mind that your time here might be done, and then next minute there's you and Richard Ward absolutely storming it for the second half of the season. It through that amazing run, but a big part of that were you two at the back. Yeah,
and that's where, like you say, you have to be ready. Things happen in football, and it can just change instantly. Which like I say, is football. And when I say you have to be ready, I think just first and foremost you owe it to yourself, because you've been through all the stages of when you're 8, 9, 10, 11, you're coming through, and then you get to the U team, first year pro, and you get through you get your foot in the door, and then it's down to you as a player to make sure you do all you can to stay in that industry, in the team, at the club. And I go back to focusing on what you can control, and that's all you can control. Difficult, like by all means, it's not easy. And like I say, I think when you look at yourself in the mirror, can you look at yourself and say, look, you've done all right, which again, sometimes the amount of mixed thoughts that you have can be challenging.
Your own biggest critic.
That's it, yeah. Sometimes it's your best attribute, but sometimes your worst as well, which is what I've been guilty of, I think, in the past. And anything in life is about balance. So to try and get to that good place where you're kind enough to yourself, but you still got to push yourself each day to be better.
Just before we talk about being ready, and a specific example of that, I've got to ask you, how many times have you actually broken your nose?
Right. I think I've had it operated on. I think I've actually had it operated on 3 times. Okay. Well, I say operated, where they just put you to sleep and they try and move it back. I've got my big face thing there. Yes. I'm just looking at it, and it's. I can't believe it's actually been fixed. But no, yeah, I've had a few old whacks on it, and obviously the worst face injury I had was when for Donny away at Rotherham when I was on loan. But yeah, it's hard work sometimes, especially in these cold months when it gets blocked. Yeah. Yeah, it's hard to breathe. That'll be when I retire. One of the first things I get sorted out. I'll be like a new man.
New man, yeah.
Yeah. Be able to breathe.
What does it even? If you get a whack now, does it even bother? You talked about breathing and stuff like that, but even you've been through it enough time.
The worst thing, and it actually happened in training the other day, is the ball just clipped me chin, and because from when I did that face injury at Rotherham, I've got a plate in here. It even just I'll get whacked here and it's not too bad, but if it just clips my jaw, and then I don't know if it's all my nerves in my face and that as well, but that hurts. And then my ears ringing, but no, I don't really feel sorry for the ball, really. It's this nose.
Can you remember all about that Rotherham incident?
Oh yeah, I remember it. Yeah, it wasn't a nice one. No. And I got a lot of sympathy when I came back in on the door being called Quasimodo on Monday, but I suppose again that's football. Yeah.
We're talking about kind of being ready. That cameo at Gillingham the other week. You were on pitch for 3 or 4 minutes, and headed absolutely everything away. How do you stay in that right mindset? You're coming on in a high pressure environment like that. You've got a job to do. It might sound like a simple job, but going on and doing it and delivering it. Yeah,
I think that's like I said, that's the job you're coming on to do. And I remember once, I can't remember where I seen it or what it was. It may have been in somebody's book. And they just said, whatever you are, try and be the best at it. So if I'm on the bench, I always just try and think, if I come on, I'm going to be the best sub in the EFL today, do my job for the team. And like I say, that's the Taylor Swift on you.
Taylor Swift.
Yeah, see how I noticed that straight away. But no, like I say, you're coming on to do a job for the team. And you take pride in that. You want to, even if it's 5 minutes, 50 minutes, 1 minute, and that can be a big part. Like you say, come on, first one, header from a throw in, and then didn't quite get time that one right. I think that actually come off the nose. That's probably why it went quite far. And then again, ball come in the box again, another header, and that's that's your job. That's your duty to the team, and you just got to be, like I say, saying that, repeating myself, but you just got to be ready to do what you need to do for the team, do your job for the team.
Passion for the game as strong as ever?
Yeah, of course it is. Like you say, when it's tough, it can be, it's challenging. Sometimes you're thinking like, oh God, I'm going out there again today, and we're, like the year we got relegated was tough, and then I couldn't do anything about it. I was supposed to be the captain and be out there leading, and I went out there and couldn't do anything about it, and that's tough. Well, like I say, you just feel hopeless. You really want to be out there, and then things start going again in your head, and it can all spiral out of control. But like I said there, fit now and just ready and raring to go when I get the chance. One
thing I can never see diminishing with you in terms of passion is when you score goals. Think about celebrations against Rochdale, Colchester, even MK Dons earlier this season. It's you seem to absolutely
there's no better feeling, when you. I mean, don't get me wrong. If you make a good block sometimes and you clear one off the line or something like that, it's a great feeling as well. But when you score a goal, it's an amazing feeling. And the MK Don one was a nice one, and like the previous goals. Wish I'd scored a bit more. I think I always say that. You always want a bit more as a centre half to, you always say be good in both boxes, and that's something I'm always trying to work on and improve at. So yeah.
Seems to have been something that it's not quite clicked in terms of goal scoring centre halves over the last couple of years. Joseph Alowu a few years ago was scoring them.
I think Joe's got a good knack for it. He seems to be, like we say, strikers in the right place at the right time, and Joe's, but he's aggressive, he's strong. It's. I don't really think we probably have one since Butts, really, because Butts. I think Butts got over 50 goals, didn't he?
He got a fair few.
So there you go. I think about 15, which I think I should have more. I think if you get to who else? I think Virgil. I think I seen Virgil van Dijk the other day at 50 something. Yeah. John Terry 50 odd. So these are goal scoring centre halves. It can be a big asset to have. Because set pieces, especially at our level, are a big part of the game.
What the Crystal Palace game coming up? You were obviously involved, played 90 minutes against Palace 6 years ago. What do you remember about that game?
I watched the highlights actually the other day, and I was watching and just thinking I looked, a bit of a young, quite slim young boy. But obviously I think I was 25 at the time, and a great experience. Obviously the ground was packed out. Great experience to play against them boys, Premier League team, and I remember, I think the goal at half time just killed us a little bit. But even watching the highlights back, we had some half decent chances, and I think we held a good account of ourselves on the day, and I think we'll be ready to have a good go again. Obviously, I had a few good FA Cup runs whilst I've been here. Palace that time, West Ham. Which was obviously a great day out. A bit of a shame it was in COVID, so no fans at the ground, but still a great ground to go and play at and a great experience. Something we can all look forward to. What's key, do you think, in those games for the kind of lower ranked team? I think, obviously West Ham. I think if I remember rightly, we conceded quite early on, didn't we? Yeah. And that was quite deflating. All you talk is, before that game was 10-15 minutes, nothing silly, and then they score in 90 seconds, and that could be could be a long afternoon. So I think it's important to make sure we, stay in the game, nothing silly early on, and just play with no fear. They're a Premier League team. Obviously they're the best of the best. That's why they are where they are. Why they play in the Premier League every day. And we just got to enjoy it and have a right good go. Take the shackles off and just play free and play football and go and enjoy it. Yeah. The great occasions, as you've touched on, it'd be great to see this place kind of packed out again. Yeah, of course, Everton game and things like that. Yeah, it's weird though how I've played Palace twice, Everton twice, Hull twice. But no, yeah, something that we can all look forward to as a club.
Who were you hoping for? Would you have liked? Just to tick one off before.
Well, I'd like Liverpool. Obviously, I've got my wife's dad and family are from Liverpool. Right. And he's a big Liverpool fan, so I would have loved to play there. Obviously, just Anfield experience there. I think it was Klopp's last game last year, and I just remember watching sing the cop sing "You'll Never Walk Alone." I actually had to pause it and rewind it, and I told my wife just to come down and watch this because it was like such a touching moment, like just to see the emotion of it and everything. And I think just to play at such a historic ground like that would be massive. And then you've obviously got Old Trafford, Tottenham. I actually quite fancy just the new ground. But yeah, still a great occasion for us all, and especially at our place.
It's all to come in 5th round, isn't it?
There you go. You never know.
When we do, the question of the week and things like that, you often come up regularly when people are talking about the smartest in the camp.
Yeah.
What's your thoughts on that?
Well, I think it depends on smart as in common sense.
Common sense.
Yeah, I'm not sure about academic. But yeah, common sense, I'm quite a sensible lad, got my head on my shoulders. Been brought up right. Had a lot of good people around me as I've been getting older. And then academic, I would try. But I need to be told. Well, I'm what do you call it? Where I learn where you need to see things. Is that kinesthetic?
I think it might
or
be,
something like that. But where if someone's just writing on a board, and I've got to listen. It might look like I'm listening, but really I'm just daydreaming.
Yeah.
So yeah. Was
school no good for you then? What were you like it?
I was all right. Like I say, I weren't naughty or anything. What did I get? 7 C's. I got GCSEs.
How long with that?
But obviously a favourite academic was PE.
Yeah.
Practical, but then again, like I say, the theory side of it struggled a bit.
Yeah.
But no, enjoy being there. Wish I could go back. Everybody says that, don't you? Yeah. Wish you could go back. Like maybe something like like doing Big Brother. You maybe just go back for a week and see how everybody is and just do something like that. But no, it was all right.
Yeah.
Didn't mind it.
Yeah. These interviews all finish the same way with this question: is when ultimately it's all said and done, you've hung your boots up. How would you want people to talk about you as a player? What sort of player you were? What sort of person you were, and things like that. As a footballer, what would you like people to say about it?
I think as a footballer, someone who put his all into it every game, put his body on the line, did all he could for the team and for the club, and was just a good professional. I think that's important, to make sure you do things in the right way, show younger people how it's done. So yeah, just to be a good pro, be committed and help people out as best you can.
Good man. Thank you very much, Tom.
Thank you very much.
That.
Cheers, Liam. Thank you.